Hey everyone, welcome back. Are you ready to dive into the world of networking and become a total pro, especially like when you're doing business internationally?
It's kind of a jungle out there, but don't worry, we're gonna give you the tools to navigate it.
Yeah, we're taking a look at this awesome English lesson, specifically for people learning English as a second language,
hmm
and it is all about making those connections globally.
Yeah, this lesson is amazing.
So are you ready to unlock the secrets to networking success, like across cultures and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. This lesson is packed with insights. I mean, it's not just shake hands and smile. It's like understanding the why behind successful networking, especially when you're dealing with different cultures.
I know, right? I was so intrigued by this concept of culturally appropriate language because like what flies in one country might totally bomb in another.
Hmm.
So what's the deal with that?
Oh, it's huge. It's all about realizing that communication styles can be totally different around the world. So you got to be adaptable. For example, in some cultures, direct communication is like the gold standard. You say what you mean, no messing around. But then you go to other cultures, and it's all about indirect communication. You got to read between the lines, pick up on those subtle cues, understand the context. So, let's say you're at a networking event, right? And you're in Japan, and you just straight up ask someone, what do you do? That could be seen as like a little too forward,
Yes.
a bit aggressive. So instead, try something softer. Like, I'm really interested in hearing about your work experience. It's more respectful shows. You get their cultural vibe.
I like that approach.
Yeah.
It's like, you're showing a genuine interest without being like overly direct. So how do we even begin to figure out these like unspoken rules of different cultures? It seems like a minefield out there.
Oh, it can be, for sure. But don't stress. A little prep work goes a long way. Before you hit that international networking event, spend some time researching. Like what are the communication styles? What's the etiquette? What are those cultural nuances? There are tons of online resources out there. Even just a little bit of homework can make a world of difference.
That's great advice. Speaking of making a difference, let's talk about those power phrases the lesson highlighted. What are some examples that'll make us stand out from the crowd?
Ah, yes. Power phrases. They're like your secret weapons. Think of them as conversation starters that instantly boost your memorability and create a positive impression. So instead of the classic, nice to meet you, how about you try? It's a pleasure to meet you. I've been so excited for this event. See? Instant upgrade. It shows genuine enthusiasm, makes you stand out. You're not just another face in the crowd.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's all about standing out. And what about those moments when you want to keep the conversation flowing? Any strategies there?
Oh, for sure. Asking insightful follow-up questions. It's a game changer. Instead of that generic, what do you do, which can feel a little like an interview, try, what are you most passionate about in your work? Or, I'd love to hear about your experience in land, and then name their field. It shows you're truly interested, not just going through the motions.
It's about making that real connection,
That's
right?
exactly.
Now, something that really resonated with me from the lesson was the emphasis on LinkedIn for global networking. It's like the ultimate tool, but how do we use it strategically to build those international connections?
Yeah, LinkedIn, it's a powerhouse. But it's more than just having a profile, right? You got to think of it as your virtual networking hub. Join groups related to your industry, dive into conversations, connect with people from all corners of the globe. The key is to be active. Regularly share insightful content, comment on posts, celebrate your connections' wins. It's all about nurturing those online relationships.
It's like building a community online.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, so we've covered culturally sensitive communication. We've talked power phrases. Now let's unlock those grammar secrets the lesson teased. What's the inside scoop? How can we finesse our language for maximum impact?
It's amazing how subtle grammar tweaks can make you sound more polished, more polite, like indirect questions. They're fantastic for gathering info without being too abrupt. Instead of, what company do you work for? Try, I'm curious to know more about your company. Softer, more approachable, especially in formal settings.
Oh, that's a good one. Especially for someone like me who's learned English as a second language. I'm always looking for ways to sound more, professional and fluent. Are there any other grammar tricks we can have up our sleeves?
Absolutely. The present perfect tense is your secret weapon for subtly showcasing those accomplishments and ongoing experiences. So instead of saying, I work on a similar project, you could say, I've been working on similar projects for several years. Adds that extra layer of experience and engagement.
Wow, that's subtle but powerful. I'm definitely going to be practicing that. One thing I really loved about this lesson was that it wasn't just all theory, it actually gave us practical activities to try out.
Yes, exactly. Because, practice makes perfect. Role-playing, networking scenarios, practicing your email etiquette, it's all about getting comfortable, building that confidence. Like, imagine you're at a conference, right? And you want to approach someone you admire. Practice your intro beforehand. I know it might feel silly, but trust me, the more you rehearse, the more confident you'll feel when you're actually there.
So, in a nutshell, we've discovered that being aware of cultural differences is key. Mastering power phrases can make us memorable, and strategic grammar can seriously elevate our communication game.
Totally. And here's a final thought to leave you with as you continue honing those networking skills. Think about your own experiences. What are some situations where you could have used these techniques? How might they have changed the outcome?
That's a great question to ponder as we wrap up today's deep dive. All right, everyone, go out there, make those connections, build those relationships, and watch your network flourish. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.